and members of the Liberian National Bar Association, the president and members of the Association of Female Lawyers, the president and members of the National Association of Public Defenders, Madam Court Administrator and staff of the Judiciary, members of the press, distinguished guests, family members, ladies and gentlemen. In accordance with Article 72B of the Liberian Constitution 1986, which requires justices and judges to retire at the age of 70 years, we are here again today to honorably witness the retirement program of one who, in obedience to our organic law, is leaving her seat of honor after having reached the age of 70. Chief Justice Yuoh was appointed on September 28, 2022, to replace the former Chief Justice Francis C. Hopper, who had reached the age of retirement, and on September 27, 2022, was honorably retired by the Supreme Court. On October 10, 2022, Chief Justice Yuoh was honorably escorted in an official ceremony to her seat of honor among the police to serve as the 26th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia. Referencing the statement of playwright William Shakespeare in his play, As You Like It, Chief Justice Yuoh has performed her role well and is now exiting the stage where she sat and commanded, directed, and coordinated with efficiency. I ask for your attention as we begin with the official retirement program of Chief Justice Yuoh, beginning here in the chambers of the Supreme Court and following thereafter in the hall on the ground floor of the Temple of Justice. Thanks for being here to celebrate with us.
At this time, we now entertain the selection for the Morovia Community Mass Choir.
Retirement of Her Honor Sie-A-Nyene G, outgoing Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and the Sovereign Courts of Liberia, the name is George we watch him share life. We now joined in the Mass Choir for a beautiful selection as we bring you this life college from the Supreme Court of Liberia, official retirement of the outgoing Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
For you to be full, for and more to plan. He knows your ending before your beginning. Don't be dismayed. It's only delay. It's not only your time, but your turn. It's not only your time. For you to be fruitful, before your beginning, it's not only your time, but your turn. It's not only your time, but your turn.
auspicious retirement program of the outgoing Chief Justice, Her Honor Sie-A-Nyene G of the Supreme Court of Liberia. Let now join Associate Justice James Heta Hawawolopoli, now Justice Michimwas of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
Beginning with the President of the Liberian National Bar Association, the Minister of Justice and Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, and go on to the Justices.
So keep watching.
Madam Chief Justice and Associate Justices
Let
of
now
the
join
Supreme Court
Pomo
of
from
Liberia.
President of the Liberian National Bar Association.
Former Chief Justices and Associate Justices of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. Judges of circuits and specialized courts. Officials of government here, members of the legislature, representatives of international development organizations here, senior councillors, Madam Vice President, members of the National Executive Council, distinguished members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings, Your Honors, especially our illustrious outgoing Chief Justice. From not only the Liberian National Bar Association that represents the legal community of the Republic of Liberia, but also the legal community of the West African sub-region, where I also serve as president of the West African Bar Association. On behalf of the National Executive Council, the membership, and indeed the entire legal fraternity of the Republic of Liberia, the Liberian National Bar Association extends its heartfelt salute to a jurist whose life's work has become an indelible chapter in the history of our judiciary. Her Honor Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G. You may know this information, or you may not know members of the bar and guests here, that our outgoing illustrious Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia also became the first female Vice President of the Liberian National Bar Association. Now you can see what has happened for the invaluable services to our profession, which have taken her to many places, and today, graciously, she is departing this honorable court as Chief Justice. Today, as the Constitution, which is our enduring covenant of governance, calls for the graceful closing of a remarkable judicial chapter, under Article 72B, we do not merely witness the retirement of a Chief Justice, we honor the combination of decades of service, integrity, and unwavering fidelity to the law. Chief Justice Yuoh's journey from her formative years at the Ministry of Justice, the Law Reform Commission, to her tenure as an Associate Justice, and ultimately as Chief Justice of the Republic, has been marked by discipline, courage, and a deep reverence for the rule of law. Her judicial pen has been steady, her voice clear, and her moral compass unshaken, even in the most turbulent legal storms. She led this court with a rare blend of firmness and humility, ensuring that justice was not an abstract idea, but a lived reality for litigants, lawyers, and the people of Liberia. Under her stewardship, the judiciary remained an anchor of stability, a guardian of rights, and a reminder that the scales of justice must be balanced, not in favor of the powerful, but in service of the truth. Chief Justice Yuoh has been more than the nation's top jurist. She has been a teacher to the young lawyer, a counsel to the seasoned advocate, and a conscience to the bar itself. She has challenged us, the Liberia National Bar Association, to uphold the nobility and calling, to defend the independence of the courts, and to serve the people with diligence and honor. As she now steps away from the bench, her honor leaves behind a legacy that will inspire generations, a legacy of courage over convenience, principle over pressure, and justice over experience. Chief Justice Yuoh, the bar says to you today, your rope may be laid aside, but your example will forever clothe the conscience of the Liberian legal profession. May the Almighty reward you your years of faithful service with peace, health, and fulfillment in the new chapter ahead. On behalf of the Liberia National Bar Association, Madam Chief Justice, I say thank you. You are served with honor. You retire with dignity, and you depart with enduring gratitude of the nation you have served so far. May God bless you, and may God bless the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
Okay, that is the president of the Liberia Bar Association, Liberian National Bar Association President, Councillor Bono M. Fama, giving a special remark here at the retirement program of the outgoing Chief Justice Yuoh. So next is the Ministry of Justice. Next is the Ministry of Justice. So there is a representation here from the Ministry of Justice. The Solicitor General is now on the podium representing Councillor Oscar Ntwe, Minister of Justice, Dean of the Supreme Court Bar. So the name is George Cooper, coming to live from the Supreme Court. Let's launch on the Solicitor General.
Lawyers and members of the diplomatic corps and consulate corps, members of the cabinet, judges of the circuit and special high court, the liquor advisor to the president, Honorable Judicial, President and members of the National Association of Trial Judges, President and members of the Liberian National Bar Association, President and members of the Association of Female Lawyers, the Dean and Faculty of Students of the Adult School of Law, Madam Court Administrator and staff of the Judiciary, members and officials of the legislature here present, relative friends and guests of Chief Justice Yuoh, members of the Fourth Estate, clergymen and imams, ladies and gentlemen. It is usually the duty of the Attorney General as Dean of the Supreme Court Bar to respond to the opening address of the Chief Justice during official function, most notably the opening of the court, and to welcome your honors. Today, however, we gather for a special occasion, a fair tribute to the Chief Justice as she retired from her esteemed opinion at the helm of Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. Today I stand here with profound gratitude and deep admiration as we honor our remarkable career and enduring legacy. As Liberia 10th female Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, your leadership has been a beacon of unwavering commitment to judicial independence, transformative reform, and the pursuit of justice for all Liberians. Since your appointment in 2013, you have exemplified bold and visionary leadership. Your tenure has been marked by persistent effort to modernize our judiciary, launching the strategic plans aimed at reducing case backlog, improving an infrastructure, and advocating fearlessly for the financial autonomy that safeguards our court independence. The legislation you, along with others, championed to grant financial independence to the judiciary stand as a landmark achievement, an enduring testament to your unwavering belief that an independent judiciary is the cornerstone of democracy and foundation for justice. Your dedication to justice extends far beyond structural reform. You have been a passionate champion for vulnerable groups, especially women and children, advocating tirelessly for equitable access to justice. Your leadership within the Liberian National Bar Association, including your service as Vice President and your role as founding members of the Association of Female Lawyers, underscore your lifelong commitment to empowering women in the legal profession and narrowing Liberia's gender justice equity. Throughout your distinguished career, you faced many challenges: unfunded costs, bureaucratic initiation or hallmark, and resource limitation. But your honor, resilience, and unwavering focus on reform have left an indelible mark. As you often said, justice is the foundation upon which peace and development stand. You have inspired a new generations of jurists and reformer, laying a foundation for judiciary that is more sufficient, independent, responsive to the needs of our people. Madam Chief Justice, as you step into your retirement, you leave behind a legacy characterized by trade, leadership, and strategic reform, pioneering the modern justice that upholds justice, fairness, the rule of law, and your contribution has transformed our judiciary and empower countless individuals and communities across Liberia. On behalf of the Ministry of Justice and the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, I want to express our deep gratitude to your dedicated service, exemplary leadership, unwavering commitment to justice. Liberia is proud of you and your legacy as a reformer, a trailblazer, and a champion of judicial independence. In the work of Justice Ruth Berda Gabriel, we achieved endure change, happening one step at a time. Your remarkable joining exemplary history, inspiring you as a continuing working towards a more just and equitable society. May your retirement be filled with the recognition you as richest deserve, and may your future endeavor continue to inspire and uplift our nation. Madam Chief Justice, we raise you for one quotation we normally say when we are arguing cases. Whenever someone is delaying or wasting your time, you most often say, "Counsel, pray." Pray, Counsel. Trust that we will remember you for that. As you get into your retirement, please feel free to make sure that the journey you have started continue by making sure those that you left behind are properly seated. And it is said in most often that whenever your successor does not succeed, you are a failure. So, Madam Chief Justice, it is our belief that you will make it a must, work tirelessly to make sure that your successor will become a positive success as you are. I thank you.
So, this is the General of the Republic of Liberia giving a farewell tribute to the retirement program head of the outgoing Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G of the Supreme Court of Liberia, representing the Ministry of Justice. Next is Associate Justice Shannon D. Clinton Johnson, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
In the framework of our Constitution, we created our system. The Supreme Court was created as a tribunal in which all may appear for the exercise and protection of rights guaranteed by the Constitution. With confidence repose in the soundness of this court and the purity of its motives. So as I gave my tribute, Chief Justice, let me stand on existing protocol. First, let me state my respect for admiration for your courage as a woman to stand up to judicial dedication and service to our country, guiding the Supreme Court through some of its troubling times. I have worked with you through one of such troubling times. when they're supposed to criticize, as we, only remembering the confidence reposed in us, for the soundness of our decision and the purity of our motive, made a decision that even in politics, law must abide. CJ, I may not have worked on the bench here with you for a long time, but when I introduced you, I said to you that you are a remarkable woman, and I meant that. I meant that because in our society, a society polarized by men, we women are judged differently, forgetting to know that we are socialized differently. I have worked here for just 2 terms of this court. You, from the day I arrived here, told me, leave your emotions, put light on your face, get ready for the criticism, because no matter what you do here, somebody has something to say. Secondly, you told me that when we make decisions here, it's for the bench and not for us. So we don't own our decisions. It's the bench that owns the decisions that we make. For me, there have been 2 times that I stood up that has left an imprint on my life for the past 2 terms of this court. And I make reference to our room of deliberations. Nobody I have worked with can be as meticulous as Tenure. When you write a judgment, you go when you come out, I think the English here, let's change. When you think you have finally arrived, you say, I think we should look at it this way. Police, let's look at it this way. The first time of court, I was angry every day. When do we get finished with these opinions? We will have to. But by the time the first term ended, I have gotten accustomed to it. Madam Chief Justice, your meticulous effort and your ability to insist on the fine details is the lesson I've learned from you for this short time, for which I admire you so much. And I promise you, this is your modus operandi is my commitment, as I said, after you left. Because I know you are stepping from the bench sitting up here, but you are not stepping from service to your country and to the legal profession. Further, we owe you a great debt of gratitude for your distinguished service and your ongoing work on restoring this court to national prominence through your judiciary 5-year strategic plan. For the rebranding of our judiciary. This rebranding, in my mind, as I read it, aims to focus on restoring confidence in our judiciary and to rapidly play its role in forging collaborative policies with the other 2 branches of government. I admire you for your ability to walk across the aisle and make your position known. As you start yet another journey or path of your life, one, I pray for you to be devoid of all the unnecessary criticism. Don't let this different joining or new joining make you to think, to look back. To look back is useless. You have served your time here. You've gone down in history. I want you to remember that those who will criticize you are beneath you. Because you are above them, that's the reason why they want to pull you down. To pull somebody down, you have to be beneath them. I want to say thank you, but leave you with these words of a known poet, Khalid Gabon, who said, and this poem has come to impact my life in a way that I quote it now when I talk. He said, it is said, before entering the sea, that the river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountain, the long winding road through forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees the open ocean, so vast that to enter there and see nothing more than to disappear forever. but there's no other way. The river must not go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in the existence of human history. Because what you've done here, you cannot come back here to do. You've done your part. The river needs not worry about the past. The river must take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. Because where the river is now, there's nothing that can be done, because the ocean will not disappear. You must become the ocean. You must assume all of the honors, the accolades that will be bestowed on you today, some of whom are genuine, some I dare not say otherwise. It has been a great honor to serve you, my Chief Justice. For me to serve with you. Today, as I said, when you step from here, CJ, I want you to remember, you still have to teach me how to do those judgments, because it's my committee. You still have to teach me to be short. Too much fact, not necessary. Just say the main things. You don't want to impress anybody. You want to say the main things, and you want to come down on it. So, CJ, you told me when I came here to light up my face, to smile more, to not let anybody to know what you're feeling, because it's what your enemies would like to see. It's what your detractors would like to see. So I've learned to smile. Those of you who know me, I didn't smile, but now I smile. I even want to wear lipstick, so that nobody really knows what I'm thinking. I've learned that from her. Sometimes I look at her walking down the hallway, I say, this type woman has really learned, because it seems as though she doesn't see. And I want to learn that from you, so I'm going to follow you in your retirement to learn a little more lesson as stepping up and speaking truth to power, no matter who it is. Congratulations.
Justice Siana Clinton Johnson, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, giving her farewell tributes here at the Supreme Court of Liberia retirement program of outgoing Chief Justice Siana Yuoh. Landman joined Associate Justice and incoming Chief Justice, His Honor Yamne Senior.
This is a man of few words. I wish I have the ability to eulogize as much as my sister did. Most of the things I say are frank, so don't be disrespectful. My first encounter with Chief Justice Yuoh was around 1996 when I was still a law student. I saw her at a death court in an argument with another lawyer. And she displayed, practically drilled the lawyer in the body. And I couldn't believe that. My first time I see a female lawyer coming that way. So when I left, I asked her, who is that? She said, she's Councilor Yuoh. I said, wow. So the name of market, and today, he appeared to me as it happened yesterday. My next encounter was at 2009. She had just come to the Supreme Court. And I kind of had my kill. And I felt that she should be killed herself. But I was embarrassed. So I said, I don't think that's a good thing. He said, what happened? I said, she knows. He said, no, you don't say, oh. Bro, I can't know, she will kill herself. She didn't feel like I'm a lady, what? That's part of the practice. And then in Canada, when I be elevated to the Supreme Court, rumor all around the Chief Justice doesn't want to see me. They want me to carry. Everywhere I go, Chief Justice fighting, they show you that I go to the bank. Whatever true, but that's true, but that was the situation. In the final analysis, I came to the bench. And by then, Justice Yuoh her head problem couldn't go to many places. Araji. He's not a social person. So he doesn't go to function. You're always just a human myself. Couldn't get double. Couldn't get double. So she was moving from one program to another. Also, the program go with dancing. I said, wow. And sure by then, I knew that she was a good woman. Yeah, I'm convinced by then she had known that that was not the best or not as rough as she thought I was. All the time we became very good friends. In my dialect, there's a name called Zike. Why the name is a life is a stage, a theater. You have the opportunity to be there, perform, and perform to the best of their ability. Just say you have performed. Why what people say for you is their business. As far as I know, you have performed and made an impact on the society. You have done what God requires you to do. I have gradually discovered that you are a very good person, a cordial person. The good thing that we have in common is you are hard. But we never clash. So I'm sure we're surely dealing with one another. I learned a lot of things from you. CJ, your life is what it is. You are playing your part. And you are playing very well. As you embark on a new chapter in your life, I want to take this moment to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation of your dedication to duty, your expertise, and your leadership. Your contribution to the Liberian judiciary has been invaluable, and your impact will remain for years to come. Your passion, your wisdom, your commitment to excellence, especially in drafting judgment, your meticulous detail in editing draft opinions have personally inspired me and have left an indelible mark on those of all who serve on the Yuoh's bench. We are going to miss you. Miss your smile. Miss your home, your presence. But we are also excited to see where your retirement, where your retirement takes you. I wish you all the best as you begin your new journey. May it be filled with joy, realization, fulfillment. Of course, not forgetting your exercise. You have earned it. Thank again for your service to your nation, your mentorship, and your friendship. I am honored to have worked with you. Finally, as you retire, please do justice to your grandchildren with your time, love, and care. And of course, leaving little time for the rare wines. And the dancing that you love so much. Lastly, Doctor, I advise that as you age, don't sleep alone.
That is Justice Dami Kukwe-Gwisit, incoming Chief Justice and former Associate Justice. advising outgoing Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G not to keep sleeping alone, but find someone to be sleeping with. It's a joyful moment here at the Supreme Court of Liberia. The official retirement of outgoing Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G of the Supreme Court of Liberia. The name is George Cooper, DN News on television, live here at the Supreme Court of Liberia. So let's not join Justice Yuoh Kaba, the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, for a farewell tribute here.
Stand on the protocol already established. I will start first by paraphrasing the opening statement of Mark Article when Maria of Caesar lied before the people of Rome after he was murdered. I come today not to praise Chief Justice Yuoh, but to bid her farewell. As the highest judicial officer having served the judiciary for the longest time in the judicial service, with the exception of Judge Konto, whom I met here, I believe I am properly situated to chronologically see the role and station of Chief Justice Yuoh in the machination of the judiciary. When I entered the judiciary some 27 years ago, that was in 1998, I served under the administration of Chief Justice Kat. Under that administration, the role of the judicial administration was to put together the broken pieces of our justice system. During the Scott administration, Scott took over the judiciary when Liberia was fragmented. We have Greater London, Liberia, we have the Monrovia-based government. They all had their own judicial system operating. So for major goal was to bring together those broken pieces so as to have a unified judiciary. There, I served under Henry Hooper. Justice Hooper's role was to hold the judiciary together during that interim period. When, again, we had just come from war and an interim arrangement was in place, his role was to see how we can hold the court together. Then I was privileged to also serve under Chief Justice Johnny N. Lewis. His vision was to reconstruct So he focused on trying to reconstruct the judiciary with all the quick impact projects going around building magisterial courts so that courts have places to operate. I also had the privilege to serve under my big brother, Chief Justice Francis Popcorn. His role was the consolidation of what Chief Justice Johnny N. Lewis was reconstructing. And he did an excellent work in that area. Then comes Chief Justice Sie-A-Nyene G. She came with her own vision. Her vision was to rebrand the judiciary. In other words, give the judiciary a new image through a lot of areas and facets of judicial administration. One of our greatest achievements, I think, and subsequent Chief Justice will benefit from that, was the enforcement of the Financial Autonomy Act promulgated by the National Legislature for the judiciary. She fearlessly and tirelessly fought to ensure that the other two branches of our government respect and give meaning to the operation of the Financial Autonomy Act of the judiciary. Go beside, she fought to ensure that the judiciary is considered as an equal branch of the government of Liberia and not a stepchild of our government's of our governance system. For that, Chief Justice, you will be remembered. She didn't only stop there. She carved a 5-year strategic plan. A 5-year strategic plan that mapped out Liberia. And today, we can see the benefits of what you dream of. Today, we can see boats shooting up in Maryland County. Just 2 days ago, we visited magisterial complexes. I'm not saying magisterial building. I'm saying magisterial complexes in Gunnersville, in Broadville, in Kingsville, and we know several others of those complexes are being constructed in other parts of Liberia. Today, we are hearing about the digitalization of our judiciary. That, in my own opinion, is a marked achievement. If I continue to say what Chief Justice Yuoh contribution to the judiciary is, I won't be from here today. But what I can say is the causal relationship that evolved between us during your time on the Supreme Court, I assure you it will continue. And as my sister just told you, your impact and what you have gathered through the judicial service, we will always tap on. Because I remember my first encounter with you was when I was a circuit judge. And you appeared before me to defend prosecute the matter. And when I saw you in the manner and form, I didn't know you were also doing this. I didn't know you were over there. But the manner and form in which you prosecuted that matter informed me that indeed something great was ahead of you. And my expectation was proven right. Therefore, as a whole, I know history behind you and the people of that area will remain grateful for your service. Thank you.
So, Justice Yuoh G. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, a favorite tribute to outgoing Chief Justice Yuoh. So let's now join James Hector Howard Wokwali, the Associate Justice, and now Justice in Chief of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
That was the retired our then Chief Justice Copper. And just in a short time, we hear baby. I recall when President-elect Justice Yuoh became president, in line with a vision of women empowerment and participation in the governance of the nation, she insisted on appointing women to serve in the government, targeting all branches of the government. In her reorganization of the Supreme Court bench, in consonance with the Accra Peace Talk, President Johnson appointed Justice Gladys Johnson as one of the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. And when Associate Justice Emmanuel Red died, shortly after having extended to the bench, President Johnson insisted that another woman be appointed to bring a semblance of gender balance on the bench. I was appointed to replace him. Later, when Justice Gladys Johnson retired, the President, in a bid again to keep a gender-balanced court, appointed you, Chief Justice Yuoh, a confident and self-assured female counselor to replace Associate Justice Gladys Johnson. You having served on this bench as an Associate Justice from the March term 2013, President George Weah saw it fit to appoint you as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to replace Chief Justice Francis S. Couples, who had attained the age of 70 and retired. Exhibiting one of the characteristics of a female lawyer, of a female leader, a visionary, you, Justice Yuoh, in your almost 3 years as Chief Justice, have set and exhibited a clear course for the future of the judiciary as to where you wanted to be, and you set out to communicate it effectively. In your intolerance for overcrowded dockets, ineffectiveness of the court system, poor performance of judges, and the inadequate facility for operating cases, you insisted on judges' proper management of the dockets. As for the Supreme Court, you formed the rules that effectively handled the efficient and effective clearing of appeals and other papers appearing before the court. If I thought I was tough, hardworking, and organized, and a tyrant when it comes to accomplishing goals, you beat me up. I saw in you a knack for accomplishment, and I set out to partner with you in this regard. I often laugh when I think of how all of your frustration from receiving numerous complaints coming from litigants appearing before the magisterial courts, how you went out with all notice to visit these courts, and finding the courts overcrowded with party litigants who had come day after day to have cases disposed of, how you would take the bull by the horn, sitting there with them, having them call up cases and practically helping them adapt the George Julie style in effectively and speedily handling matters appearing before these courts. For so long, as Justice Yuoh said, the judiciary was ignored, overlooked, and treated, we would say, like a ministry, instead of an equal branch of government by the other two branches of government. Your courage in taking up the challenge to overcome this major obstacle and ensuring the effective running of the judiciary was admirable and exhibited one of the characteristics of a female leader. I often laugh when I recall how you bundle us up to go with you to put forward your case to the president, how you invite the speaker, pro and other leaders of the legislature to make a case on behalf of the judiciary. From your many presentations to them, I have come to memorize few of your lines in the talk with them, propounding the need for the agenda to the judiciary, and particularly hammering their adherence to the Judicial Financial Autonomy Act, explaining that it entails explaining what it entails and the regard that the Act generates for the autonomy of the judiciary. Thank you, Madam Chief Justice, that because of your courage and insistence and effort in generating President Barker's regard for the role of the judiciary plays in our society, for the first time, the 18 years I've been with the judiciary, the approved judicial budget has reached 23 billion. It was 16, 17, 18, we were fighting. She brought us up, let's do it. And I've been received, man. And once you get ready to make the break, she'll say, and she'll go on with the and then she'll force to be firmly making the break. And I guess they got tired of us and decided, well, let's do something this time. Thank you, CJ. You have played your role well. Your 3 years of leadership has impacted the judiciary. You are not leaving the judiciary with all guidance, but have worked in ensuring that you left a blueprint for the judiciary to stay on a consistent and steady path for 5 years in its development. The development of the 5-year strategic plan led by you is a masterpiece, which we pray will be followed by a successor and which will generate the building of a proud, strong, effective, and respectable judiciary. I know many of the councillors practicing before the Supreme Court will remember you for the role you played in making them better lawyers. Your lectures frequently given to them when their performance before the court was dismal, and your fines imposed on them, though I must admit, was sometimes how I am sure helped in preparing them to be better counselors and to give the due regards deserving of this book by counselors practicing before it. Go and rest well, Justice Yuoh. As strong and as young as you are, take advantage of other potentials that you have and continue to give back to your country, to impact the society. You are not old, you have much to give, and we expect much of you as you do this bench. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Associate Justice James Yuoh, farewell tribute to outgoing Chief Justice Yuoh. So we are taking the selection from the Moral-based Mass Choir. When we return, there will be the official response from the outgoing Chief Justice Yuoh.
Fighting.